College Football Week 1, Surprises and Top 10. Rankings College Football's Week 1 felt like a playoff preview, with electric atmospheres in Columbus, Clemson, Miami, and Tallahassee, showcasing big-time programs and postseason-level intensity. Thanks to the new 12-team playoff format, early losses by teams like Texas, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Alabama don't end their championship hopes. The opening weekend delivered every emotion. Farewell to Lee Corso, Boise State's crushing loss, Utah's resurgence, close calls for Kansas State and Washington State, and Clemson's offensive struggles. Now, attention turns to the top 10 rankings, which reward performance over preseason hype, leaving out teams with easy openers like Penn State and Georgia, while spotlighting those tested right away. Number 1. LSU Tigers. The Tigers announced themselves with authority, taking down Clemson 17-10. LSU's transfer-heavy defense was everywhere, hammering Cade Klubnik and keeping Clemson from ever finding a rhythm. Clemson had only 3 third-down conversions, barely cracked 270 yards, and punted or turned it over on 7 drives. LSU didn't just win. They showed they might have one of the nastiest defenses in the country this year. Number 2. Ohio State Buckeyes. The Buckeyes controlled Texas from start to finish in a 14-7 victory. Arch Manning, making his debut as the Texas starter, was completely smothered by Ohio State's defense. But the bigger story? Freshman quarterback Julian Sayin looked poised and efficient in his first start, completing 13 of 20 passes with a touchdown. He didn't put up huge numbers, but he didn't need to. The Buckeyes' defense carried the day, and they looked every bit like defending champs. Number 3. Florida State Seminoles. Florida State stormed past Alabama 31-17, behind new offensive coordinator Gus Malzahn and quarterback Tommy Castellanos. The Seminoles pounded Alabama on the ground for 230 rushing yards, averaging nearly 5 yards a carry. For the second year in a row, Alabama looked like the less physical team, something fans in Tuscaloosa aren't used to seeing. Head coach Kalen DeBoer already has plenty to worry about, because if the Tide can't win in the trenches, they won't survive the SEC gauntlet. Number 4. Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee's new quarterback Joey Aguilar came out firing, throwing for 3 touchdowns in a 45-26 win over Syracuse. The Volunteers' offense was nearly unstoppable, racking up close to 500 yards while their running backs ripped off chunk plays all day. It wasn't a perfect game, but it was enough to remind everyone that Tennessee is still very much a factor in the SEC and beyond. Number 5. Utah Utes. If you wanted a statement win, Utah gave you one. They went into the Rose Bowl and dominated. UCLA 43-10. The star of the show was quarterback Devin Dampier, a transfer from New Mexico. He ran for 87 yards, threw for 206 more, and scored 3 touchdowns. He looked like the complete package. Meanwhile, UCLA's transfer QB Nico Iamaleava struggled badly, tossing an interception and taking 4 sacks. For Utah fans, this win wasn't just impressive, it might be a sign that the Utes are ready to chase another Pac-12 crown. Number 6. Auburn Tigers. Head coach Hugh Freeze finally has a quarterback. Oklahoma transfer Jackson Arnold gave Auburn fans hope, using his IE legs to devastate Baylor's defense. Auburn rolled up over 300 yards rushing in a 38-24 win, showing that Freeze's offense might finally have the dual threat leader it's been waiting for. Number 7. Miami Hurricanes. Miami shocked Notre Dame 27-24, thanks to a clutch late-game performance. The Hurricanes led most of the way, but Notre Dame tied it up late before Georgia transfer Carson Beck marched Miami down the field. That set up new kicker Carter Davis, who nailed a 47-yard field goal to seal the win. Miami now has momentum, and an easier stretch coming up to build confidence. Number 8. Clemson Tigers. Yes, Clemson lost to LSU, but they still belong in the top 10, for now. Their offense remains an issue, looking sluggish and predictable at times, but LSU's defense might be one of the best in the country. The good news for Clemson? Their schedule softens, and the path to the ACC championship game is still wide. Open. Don't count them out yet. Number 9. Texas Longhorns. The Longhorns fell to Ohio State, but there's no shame in losing to the defending champs on the road. The reality is that Texas is rebuilding. They lost their top receivers, much of their offensive line, and of course their quarterback. Arch Manning has talent, but he looked inexperienced against a veteran Buckeye defense. Still, Texas hung around and had chances late, proving they're not far off. Number 10. South Carolina Gamecocks. South Carolina earned their spot by handling Virginia Tech 24-11. They might not have the firepower of some other teams in this top 10, but they were solid, disciplined, and physical. In a week filled with chaos, that kind of steady performance deserves recognition. So there you have it, the top 10 after a wild week 1. LSU and Ohio State are setting the early standard. Florida State and Tennessee are proving they belong in the national conversation. Utah and Auburn are showing new life. Miami got a signature win. And yes, even with losses, Clemson and Texas still have playoff hopes alive in this new era of college football. The bottom line? Week 1 gave us drama, surprises, and a reminder of why we love this sport so much. And if this was just the opening act, the rest of the 2025 season could be one for the ages.